Hey guys, it's Rambo here, and we're going to be taking a look at some few stocks here. CYBL, FERN, MJWL, and ILIS. Right now, CYBL here. It looked like we started to have a little bit of a rounded top, which usually means that we would like to take a little bit of rest, maybe get down to the 50% retracement at 0.009, and it's just so strong right now. Sybil just keeps bursting. It's just like a locomotive that just keeps running down the railroad track, continuing up on this 45-degree level, which is just really strong. So if you're in it, good for you. Um, and if you're not in it, don't get FOMO, please. It's going up. It could still keep going up. There's other stocks to worry about. Something that you can be a little bit more comfortable in getting into. Don't get FOMO and get up here and then uh, watch it, have its 20% dip or something like that. But it's looking really good here on the daily chart. Um, on the 5 minute, 15 minute, or I'm sorry, 5 day, 15-minute chart here. Again, we just had a really great dip, and then it just crushed and just showed its strength. So uh, Sybil looks like it could just keep going. I don't see really anything that might slow it down. We might have a 50% retracement if you really want to get in, you really want to be risky. I would advise against it. I'm not a financial advisor, blah, blah, blah. So you can't sue me because I'm up here in, uh, a dark corner in my bedroom, uh, looking at monitors. That's all I am. But if we have a 50% retracement here, maybe tomorrow we start up high, come back low, and it's only around the 0.0157 level. That might be something to get into and maybe hold it for a couple days. But if you're going to get in here, just be really careful. Have a tight stop loss. Maybe a 0.0154 level. If it continues to come up in, right off the beginning of the day and it just starts to rip and you get in, just put it here. But I would advise maybe at the beginning of the day, just wait until 9:30 or so and seeing if this thing comes down a little bit at the 9:30 area, and then go down. Because let's see here on the daily chart here. Here we go, 8:30. It came up, and then here we have, uh, you know, 9 o'clock. Usually it's anywhere in between 9 and 9:30. We usually have our dip. Here we had two of them. This would have been really nice. I wouldn't have advised to get in here because it could have kept going down, but I would have waited. And on this dip right here, we have a higher low right here. A little concerning, we have a lower high. So maybe if you're really conservative like me, I might have gotten in right here for an entry and then enjoyed that run there. The really good thing is about when you're looking at whether to stay in or not for the next day, holding over. A lot of day traders, they just get out no matter what. That's why I usually have a dip at the end of the day, especially on Fridays. If it finishes high, and here we darn near finished at the high at the end of the day, very good sign of strength going into tomorrow. So a little bit different. That's more of a traditional way of looking at things when you're on the Nasdaq or something like that than OTC. But usually, if you end strong, even on the OTC, that's a good sign that we might keep things going uh, well tomorrow. So that's good news for the civil guys. Fern, something that I talked about here earlier. Uh, we we, uh, we had this big retracement here. If we Usually after a big retracement, I mean this is around 80% retracement. we usually don't have that high of a comeback. But here with Fern, the history, I look back here, and like I said before, after this, I expected it only maybe to get up here, but boom, we just continued to take off because uh, the the news. And like I said before on the previous video, you buy the rumor, you sell the news, and that's exactly what happened. But the news is good. The company's good. So through all this stuff throughout the future, as long as you did your due diligence on the company's good. It goes through the news and it crashes after the news usually, but the news, what I call carries. That means everyone's selling, but because the news is good, the company eventually uh, continues to do well. So when I saw this dip here, um, I waited for confirmation. When I knew it was going to be continuing up, I got in at 122, 0122. So we'll see what happens here. It could, maybe take a dip down, but we have a channel here. If you notice this line right here and this line, traditionally with this channel, and it's a long story what this is. It's a bearish wolf wedge, but usually with something like this, with no resistance all the way down, nothing but red candles, if it starts to bounce up like this right here, there's nothing to stop it. So usually it will come quite a bit far up, especially when there's no resistance. If it starts coming up, it's going to come back up to the top of that wedge, and that's why I got in so early, because usually, like I tell you guys, you wait for it to come up and have a higher high and then a higher low, and then when it starts to come up again, that's your entry point right there, and then you just enjoy the run up. But I got kind of aggressive here. I just went in. We haven't even really, we posted a high, but we haven't posted a low yet. But I'm expecting, because there's no resistance on here, I expect it to come up quite a bit before we even have any resistance, if any, on Fern here. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't know the future. If I did, I wouldn't be talking to you guys. I'd be in the Caribbean, drinking Mai Tais and enjoying a little bit of time off. I wouldn't be worried about mortgages and stuff. But so with that said, I do believe something like this is going to happen. I believe that. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to happen. It could, tomorrow come back down here. But from the way that I've seen, the way that this acts, the way that this wolf wedge acts, I do believe some kind of a jump up, at least 50% up, maybe to the 0.018 before we have maybe a little 50% retracement and then continue on upward. Now when it gets up here, then I'm going to have my finger on the market sell list. If you don't have a stop loss, I have stop loss, so I'll have probably a 10% stop loss on this. I'm going to give mine a little bit breathing room. I usually have 5%, and then I'll just let it ride up. And but when we get up here, then I'm going to be careful, because what this is, it's a bull trap. This continues to go upward here. Let me see if I could show you here real quick. I'll drag it along. This is somewhat of a really, really long triangle. This is really more of a channel, so it's a little bit less predictable. What you want to see is just a good old wedge where it will end right here. But this is a really long drawn out wedge. So that tells me that this move up to get to the wedge might be pretty long. Usually what we like to see is the same parallel
Text message from Danya.
to the previous move. So like here, it won't be like this and it won't be flat, but hopefully it will be about parallel. So we're looking at maybe bouncing off of this resistance line right here. And if you look time-wise, all the way down here, we're looking at around August, past August 20th to get to this point. So it's a good 2-week type of play right here. A very, very strong strong move. If it comes to that, we're looking at 261% move. So that would be really nice. It's not guaranteed, especially the way the wolf is set up here. It's just too long of a wedge to be really that predictable. Uh, uh, we might see something irregular. Matter of fact, I expect it maybe to be like that. We might get again some kind of resistance along the way. It might come up here and then stop like right around here, and then it just might come down from there and then hit this uh, bearish target point right here. So you have to be careful uh, and just day by day, just keep on looking at see how things are going here. If it meets resistance and then starts turning over, and you have a stop loss, just take your stop loss. Just take it, make your money right here. I mean, right here is, I don't know, 50% or whatever. I'm happy with 50%. If it goes down, then fine. Then just wait until we start doing this kind of game, something like that, or just wait until it comes down and, go from there. So nothing wrong with that. Don't be prideful. Act like a robot and just play. Do the math. It comes up, stops here. Get out. If it continues up, then maybe take half your profits out, and maybe it dips and then does something crazy like that. Well, then you have your other half, and you're still you're maximizing your profits. And then when you see it come down and break a previous support, well then get out here, and you made your money. So something like that is what I'm looking at with Fern. Then we have MJWL. MJWL is doing quite well. Let's see if I could find it here. There it is. Okay. Again, this is something that is a little unusual. This is what I have set up here is this purple line right here, and there's another one right here. You can barely see it because it's barely in the chart right here. This is called the Andrews pitchfork. And what that does is you see this red line here, that's the average price throughout this whole move right here. Okay, and usually what it does is that's called the means or the average price. You have your highs and then you have your lows, and then what happens is the price always when it comes back to the average, because that's the average. So when people usually come down here, they're saying, hey, this is a really good buy, the RSI is low, or whatever they're looking at their indicators. It usually stays around here, and then it takes off and comes up to this side and then comes back down again. And then the only thing that really changes then for the overall move is when it breaks that pitchfork. And the thing is right here, it did break it. So it came back down below, and now it's trying to work its way up. Usually when it breaks this, then we have a big move down. But what happened here is it didn't do that. It fought its way back up into it, and that's why I got in here. I bought in when it kissed the pitchfork and started up, so I kind of gambled, expecting to see an upturn, but it came down. I held. I had my stop loss. There it is, right there. At around the 0.11 area, I believe. But it held, and now it's working its way back up into the pitchfork. So we'll see what happens with MJWL. It could go either way right now. It could continue up, It could consolidate, but around here we're getting at a little bit of a higher point here, so I expect it either to come up or we'll come back down and break the pitchfork again, and then there I will probably move my stop loss up to my buying point, so I'll break even on it. But that's something that I'm looking at here. I do believe for the day we finished up 7%. Um, we finished pretty well. Not the high of the day, but pretty high. So that gives me some confidence in the move tomorrow. Tomorrow again, with the OTCs, you never know what could happen. It could start high and work its way down lower, then bounce back throughout the day. That's the craziness of the OTC. But we'll just keep a close eye out on MJWL and how that's doing. And then the last one, of course, that I want to take a look at is ILIS. ILIS has been kind of a tough pill to swallow. I broke my rule. None of us are perfect, but I explained that to you many times before. But ILIS is still fighting this downward trend line right here. It really moved away right here. It did bounce off the 0.044 a couple times, so we have that double bottom that I was looking at here, kind of working its way up. But we're in a consolidation here, and it's working its way toward this trend line. And if it breaks, then we'll see what's going to happen with ILIS. In the overall scheme of things, obviously, if you look, we're in a downtrend. We're continuing, downward here, but we're getting to a point of breaking this resistance line here. We have this long consolidation right here, bouncing in between up and down, something that a lot of scalpers are having fun with. But I bought in here. I've been continuing to wait. I should have took my stop, and I wouldn't have been worrying, and I could have just took my 5% loss, and then I could have added in here and worked my way up. But now I'm holding some bags, but I only had a half a position in here, and so when I see that we're definitely breaking that line and starting my way, our way up again, I'll put in a full position here, depending on what I see, and we'll continue our way up with ILIS. With all the catalysts coming, the due diligence of the company, knowing that it's a good company, it's only a matter of time. Like I said before, with CYBL and FERN, they're good companies, and news doesn't necessarily mean the price going up right away, but good news after good news after good news eventually will propel the company forward. So we're just looking at where's the best price to get in before we start seeing. Not necessarily, we don't need to see a big, huge move like that. I actually would rather prefer a nice, long, 45-degree, nice, strong, moving stock. That's something that always gives you confidence. Something that I'll show you, for example, here. Another investment that I was in was AR. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful chart. Got in here, sold here, got in here. Boom. Just nice. Little consolidation right here. 3 months, but so what? Yeah, we stop loss right here. Didn't break, didn't get stopped out, and just continues upward right here. You might get close to being stopped out here. Long run, a long wait, but guess what? That's we're talking up over 400, 500%. So I would like to see ILIS just nice 45-degree up, upward move. You don't have to worry about the dips. If anything, add on the dips as it's on the way up. Like I said before, you want to buy the dips, but you want to buy the dips as the overall movement of the stock is going up. You don't want to start, buy here and then buy here and buy here as it's going down. You don't want to be doing that. That's just guaranteeing you that you're adding more and more money to your bag holding. That's something you don't want. You don't want to have your money out of your wallet and into a stock, and then you're going to be holding it forever. And the thing, for young traders, I have this chart on my desk, and I always look at it. AITX. I'm in this stock right now. I have a very, very small position. I'm waiting for it to bottom out, but I believe that it's a good stock. So that way I'm not too concerned right now. And again, I have such a small investment right now. It's just enough to make me keep my eyes on it. And I'm waiting for the right moment, just like ILIS, to get into a heavy position and wait for it to go up. But this is what I want to show you. Again, buying the dips on the way down, right? Really? I don't know if you can see that right there. How much is that price? If you can't read it, $47,000 a share. 47,000. So what happens? It comes down here. Well, okay, yeah, I got a really good price, man. I'm in right here. I'm in at 11,000. Wow, what a good deal. I'm buying in so low. This is going to make me so much money. Oh, really? Oh, man, right here. Look at that blue candle. Here we go. I added here, but I'm averaging down. I'm going to buy the dip. Oh, look at this, man. It came up. Now I'm going to be making so much money. Here we go. We're off to the moon, right? Oh, really? Boom. Flatline. $47,000. And right now we're looking at 4 cents. Don't ever assume that a stock is going to continue to go up and buy dips on the way down. If you're buying a stock and the stock is going downward, that's a bad move, guys. That's a bad move. You want to buy the dips. You got a low here, it comes up. You have a higher low right there than here. That's buying the dip. That's when you want to buy the dip. Comes up, comes down, get a confirmation candle, you buy again right here. Comes up. That's buying on the way up. That's what you want to do. Everyone wants to think this right here. They buy here, well then they'll buy the dip here. They buy the dip here because why? It's going to go up. Right? No. That's a death trap right there. You're buying the dip until you have to sell your house. That's reality. I just want to let you guys know that. You're in a game that can cost you a lot of money, and you're in a game where you need to protect your money. You need to sell high and buy low. Not lower, but low. And you want to buy on the dips on the way up, right here. Right there. Okay? So you protect your gains by a stop loss. Don't be cool. Don't be giving me, any of this diamond hand stuff. You start seeing it go down. That's just a pride issue. All right? Why is it so prideful to say, oh man, I got stopped out and, I missed out on a 20% of the run right here, but then it did this. Take pride, man, and say, look, I got stopped out. Look where I got out right here. You guys are, you're all excited about buying all these dips. I'm done. Now I took all that money and I'm investing in something else that's going this way, not buying as it's going that way. All right, so that's something to always keep in mind. You always want to be buying up, not buying on the way down. That's going to protect your money. That's going to make you money, and in the long run, that's what's going to keep you in the game. Just with that said, you guys, I hope you guys made money today, and I hope that you have a good night's rest. And we will be seeing you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.